program building wing team from multiple, formations. Just have There we go. All right. Chromebook could have died. That's what I was thinking. So, Cedarville, Arkansas. A lot of people probably don't know where Cedarville, Arkansas is. It's the best way to put it. Me and Coach Smith actually crossed paths. He was leaving Cedarville, so he knows where it's at. I showed up there. It is 12 miles north of Van Buren in the woods. I mean, it's in the woods. There's nothing really there. There's a school, there's a gas station, and that's it. I mean, that's what it is. I'll kind of go into detail about where, what my background is. But when I got to Cedarville, when I wanted to be a coach, I knew I wanted to be a head football coach. I mean, I knew I wanted to be a head football coach. And then here it is. Boom, I land in Cedarville. I get the job. Okay. Now it is, to put it nicely, one of the toughest situations you've ever ran into. I mean, kids weren't wanting to show up. Kids weren't trying hard. Kids weren't. They're wanting to fight with each other. They're, just think about the worst situation you could think of. Kids weren't, no accountability. They disappear right and left. I mean, you guys are probably shaking your head. Okay, that's exactly what was going on. There was all that was going on, and I wasn't used to that. Like that's not my background. I was not used to those things going on. Where I came from and where I've coached before. The town loved football. The town loved football. The kids that played football loved football. So what do I do? Okay, that's what I'm really going to talk about tonight. What did I do to get from really the ground up? I mean, we were, to put it nicely, we were second class. It's us, and we could beat Two Rivers. I mean, that's how it was when we started out. And so, each and every year I've been there 5 years. We've improved our record every year. We were 6 points away from winning the conference championship. We lost to Charleston by 2 points on a 2-point conversion. And I'm telling you, when we played them in 2016 and we walked out on the field, they were laughing at us in Mormons. I mean, that's the big difference of where we started and where we're at. And I'm really going to dig into, building a relationship with the kid that you're coaching. Okay, because, I thought about, hey, well, the coach I played for, I'd run through a brick wall for him. Okay, so what are some things we can do, to achieve that? All right, so that's my background. So, I put 25 years of wing T experience. Well, I played in wing T. I got to be an assistant coach with Coach Max there at Prairie Grove. And then I'm running wing T also. Okay, so, 25 years. And then I've coached a lot of different places. Okay, so I've coached a lot of different kids, different types of kids. Okay. My 1 year at Westville, Oklahoma was a really good experience because they were on a 17-game losing streak. And the 1 year I was there, the head coach did a lot of the work. We went 8-3 that year. Okay, with the same type of kids that I had in Cedarville. Okay, so when I got to Cedarville, then I had to really come up with a plan on how I was going to build the thing. So, low numbers. I mean, we had 20 players on the roster when I first started. And we joke, I have 2 assistant coaches. Okay? That's it. We do 7th through 12th. Okay? I'm the head coach of the 7th grade junior high and the senior high. And I have a defensive coordinator, and then I have an assistant coach, offense and defensive line. Okay? And we joke, we laugh about it. I mean, we were scout team players. We were having to play the scout team line. I mean, we're having to do half line, all that kind of stuff. Kids they did not believe they were going to win. I mean, they did not, okay? So we still have very few resources, okay? We had a classroom style weight room, okay? I mean, it's like a classroom size. We have a locker room for the whole entire program, 7 through 12, one locker room, okay? I'm just trying to paint a picture of what's going on, you know. And so we don't have a field house. We still don't have a field house. Now, what we've been able to do over the years is we actually got to renovate this ALE building and get the proper amount of weight equipment we need. The building itself's not in great shape, but we have the proper amount, you know, of weight equipment we need. And so, when I'm building this program, weightlifting is extremely important, okay? So, you know, and it really started with that summer that I started there in 2016. You know, I got this expectation of we need to make X amount of workouts this summer, you know, and, you know, one kid does it. One kid makes the X amount of workouts I want. That very first year, 2016, we went 2-8. Okay, so that, and I'm just going, man, is this what I'm really meant to do? You know, there'd only been 5 winning seasons in the 38-year history. Okay, we've had a winning record back-to-back years, last 2 years. We won 7 games this year, 6 the year before. Okay, so this was not overnight success. You know, it's really it's an everyday building a relationship with kids. You know, nobody knew the coaching history, so, you know, I have the whole entire coaching history on the document here, but I went around talking to everybody, looking up different articles, and you know, between that, we built a coaching history, so we kind of know actually what really went on. We're like at the very bottom of the grid. We got like 50, 60 kids per class. You know, we're playing Charleston, we're playing Boonville, we were playing Lamar, who moved up, you know. So we're playing these guys that, you know, obviously are bigger, you know, and have more football tradition. Like I said, we've improved our record every single season. 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7. Okay? The big, huge deal, you know, we had to build a weight program, okay? So a couple things, I was just through building relationships and just talking with administration, you know, we were able to, I now have a weightlifting class, okay? So I was able to, you know, I call it Lifetime Fitness. And so I'm able to get, you know, we tell our football guys, hey, get in this class. You know, you need to be in Lifetime Fitness. And every year now, we've had it for 2 years, we've, you know, there's like 5 or 6 guys just for whatever reason, their schedule can't fit that, you know, we'll lift them, you know, in the period there. But that was huge, you know, just the year-round weightlifting, you know, weight program, you know. I'm not saying my weight program is perfect, but we need to actually lift weights year-round, and that was part of building the culture there. You know, we got to renovate an ALE building. You know, we have 6 power racks in there now. We're able to get about $10,000 worth of weight equipment. You know, so we're actually able to build that, and that was kind of what from the ground up. You know, one of the neat things, you know, being able to coach 7 through 12 is they are seeing the same, hearing and seeing the same thing from each one of our coaches, 7th grade, junior high, and high school. And I think that's one of the things, building relationships with kids, you know, I think that's a huge part of it. You know, creating a belief that we can win. You know, and I think we're there, you know. We want to win that conference championship, and now kids, we're saying conference champs. We're calling up conference champs. I know we're not conference champs, but we're creating a belief that we're going to be able to do it. And I think you have to create a vision. You know, we started this off season. I just called it Pirate Vision. You know, and we're shooting for the sky. We're not, you know, we want to win 1 or 2 games. We want to play in December. We want to win a conference championship. You know, we want to improve our record again. You know, so that's what I call the Pirate Vision. You call it whatever you want. But we are creating what we think is going to happen. You know, this off season, for our schedule for next year, I mean, I put the regular season schedule, and I put when we're playing the War Memorial, whether it's going to happen or not. But they're going to see it. They're going to see it, and that's what we're going to believe we're going to do. Okay? So now, go back to 2016, and we're struggling to win a football game. Okay? So what did I do then? Okay? It was as simple as this. Don't quit and play hard the whole entire time. I mean, it was really that simple because that wasn't going on. So it was like my battle cry every game. It was like, don't quit, play hard the whole entire game. Okay? And that was very tough for them to do at the very beginning. And then, what do you do for, kids? They're not winning games, So I would say things like, you got to take pride in yourself as a person. We play on a team game, but you have to take pride in who you are as a person and your work ethic. And those are things we're saying to the kids over and over in the beginning. So we did this. I sat the team down because hey, what does it mean to be a Cedarville football player? Well, in the beginning, nobody was very proud to be one, So I sat the team down and we came up with these things. What these things mean something to them, Courage, effort, determination, attitude, respect, value, integrity, leadership, loyalty, learn. So we came up with this as a team. So they're going to come up, these things mean something. This is what we're going to strive to be. All right, so this is a huge part. Coach Asher, I played for him, I worked with him, and I remember it vividly being in 7th grade. And do what's right, treat others the way you want to be treated, and do your very best. And that's the rules. A lot of programs have a lot of, tons of rules. Well, that's our 3 beliefs. We're going to do what's right, do your best, and treat others the way you want to be treated. Okay? And, obviously, when you run the football program, there's so many things that come up, and so there are certain things that go on, okay, a kid gets ISS. Well, yeah, there's going to be a set rule that we're going to bear probably this amount, but if you don't follow these 3 things, there's going to be some sort of consequence. Okay, that's up in their locker room. They know we got to do those things. Another thing, I do with our team, is we create, in a way, we create our norms or what we're going to have for our football team that year. So we sit down, okay, what are some main issues that you run into as a head coach all the time? A kid gets ISS. So we got the team down there. What are we going to do? They think, they're coming up with the rules within my boundaries. What's going to happen if one of you guys get ISS? Okay, we're going to bear crawl 200 yards. So we're coming up with these rules. They're helping me create their norms for what they're taking ownership in their team. That's kind of what that is doing. We're coming up with the norms. We're trying to take ownership in our football team. 3-dimensional coaching. I don't know if anybody's taken that course. Yes. So Coach Elder, I got to work with Coach Elder there at Prairie Grove. That Coach actually told me about it. You can take a regular or you can take a faith-based, and so it's an awesome course. I'll tell you a few things I took from that. One of the coolest things that you wouldn't believe that kind of gets you to get a kid to, you're saying you're trying to get a kid to get more out of them, get to know them, build a relationship with them. It's called a thank you card. I learned from that course. It's called a thank you card. So all you're doing is writing a kid a handwritten letter thanking him for being part of your football program. And you wouldn't believe, you get that, you mail it to them, you put it in their locker, you know, they read it, and then all of a sudden there's something a little different about it. And I didn't think it was really going to work. I want to thank you for being a Cedarville Pirate football player. I really like how you work hard, do this. And I mean, I've through the years, I've almost been able to get to about every kid we have. I got 35 kids on the senior high, and roughly, 25 on the junior high. And so just when I have some spare time, I'll write a few of those, give them to them, and man, it just makes them light up. I mean, it's actually really neat.
You send them out all at once, Coach, or you do it just when you're...
I'll do, like Thanksgiving break, I'm going to grab 3 or 4 thank you cards, write them, send them out, And it's not my best player either. It's not just like I'm writing my best player. There's kids that, they need football more than we need them. And, I'm writing them a thank you card. Man, I like your attitude, that is just... I try to do 3 or 4 anytime I get a little break there. Obviously, dead in the football season, that's kind of hard to do. But that's why I said, everyone matters. I try to, be, build a relationship with kids that, whether you're the best player or you're just on the team. I'm trying to build a relationship to make sure you feel like you matter to the football program. And I think that my team or our team that we coach, all the different levels of athletes on our team see that. They see that we're treating the guy that's, not very good, very respectful, the same way we do, the best player. And we're also holding them accountable just like the same way. So that's why I put, everything matters. Show players you care about it more than just the game. I'm trying to hit on some things that maybe, we go watch them play basketball. We go watch them in their other sport. We'll go to church events. They're doing something at the church. We've gone to their church event, as a coaching staff. See, that's another thing. They see you there in that different aspect, and they think that's really cool. We're a really, poor area. We'll help out kids any way we can, buy them some clothes, buy them some shoes, give them rides. I mean, we had a kid 2 years ago that literally my assistant coaches gave him a ride to practice and home every single day, and that kid, did not have anything. So, we're just trying to do that. Another thing I do, in building relationships, I try, I talk to the team, after practice, before practice, and I'm not a big, we're going to sit here and talk to you for 20 minutes. I'm going to have something in my mind that's important to the team, and I'm going to talk to the team for, maybe a minute or two before or after practice about the importance of that. But then I try my very best to, throughout the day, find kids and just talk to them about what's going on in their life, I know my quarterback likes the Saints, so I'm going to talk to him about Drew Brees for a little bit that day, And then, hey, I'm going to come back around too sometime and talk to him about his importance to the football team, what I can see him being, to the football team. So I really do try to have those individual conversations with kids, and it means a lot to them. And a lot of times, we talk about it. They don't really know what their role is and what they mean to the team. So we kind of just straight up tell them, this is what you can be. This is what we need you to do in those one-on-one conversations. So another thing we have, I did just a note card. So this off season, I had everybody have an index card, and they're going to write. They wrote their personal goal and their team goal on there. Okay, and then they have to give those back to me. Okay, so I have every single one of those, and so I talk a lot about. Okay, so you have this goal. I have your goal in my hand. So if you're work ethic is not matching that goal, that's when I'm going to get on you, you know. So that's what I like to have that actually written down, you know, an actual detailed goal, what they're going to do for the team, you know, and what they're going to do on a personal level, and it holds them accountable. If anybody has questions, I'm just going to keep on going. All right, so, you know, we've improved our record each year. And so I'm going to kind of just go down the line. You know, like I said, in 2016, we were 2-8, you know, and that was really the norm. I mean, that was the norm. So I really had to dig in on building those relationships, holding kids accountable. You know, like I said, in 2016, kids were disappearing left and right. You know, now they know the rules set forth. You know, if they're gonna miss practice, they gotta text, call me, tell me something. You know, and they know what the consequences are if they don't. You know, and we got a funny story about a kid that he just graduated. I mean, he graduated this year, and you guys were talking about what do you do with seniors? Well, you just tell them move on. And he still, Coach, I'm not going to be at school today. Well, you're done. You know, you're done. You know, you're done playing. Hey, thanks for telling me, but hey, man, you're done. You know. But I try to tell him, hey, you're going to have a job one day. You know, you're going to have to tell your boss, and that's why I try to relate a lot of this stuff, what we're doing, and explain to them why we're doing it. Well, one day you're going to have a job, and you're going to have to tell your boss that you're not going to be there. You know. I take a lot of pride in that 2017 3-7 year. You know, 20 players right there, and just we worked as hard as we could. I mean, as hard as I've ever coached, and only got to, we won 3 ball games. So, you know, I'm trying to, you know, if you're in that situation, or maybe one day you are in that situation, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You know, if you have these core beliefs and you really believe in them, you stick with them, it will get better. You know, we finally, first 2019, 6-4, first winning season since 2018. You know, and that was kind of that goal of that team. You know, that team, those seniors, you know, their goal was, we're going to have a winning season. We're going to have a winning season. And we did, and we upset Lamar that year. You know, that's their goal. These guys that are going to be on next year's team, they believe they're going to be conference champs. I mean, they believe it. So, you know, it's just setting those expectations, building those relationships. So, you know, at the beginning I said multiple wing tee from multiple formations. And so, the multiple formations really kind of I was more of a traditional wing tee guy. But the multiple formations really came from, in the beginning, I can't gain a yard, so I got to literally outflank these people and shift and move just to move the ball. You know, so we'll line up in name any formation, and we'll shift and we'll motion and try to get numbers on people. And you know, now when you start getting better players, it starts looking a lot better. All right, so when I'm building my football program, you know, we want to get really good at something. That's really what it was. We're going to get really good at 5 or 6 plays, you know. And I found out just over the years, you know, you can teach skilled kids all these different formations, I feel like, than before you can teach all these blocking schemes. You know, we can get really good at these 4 or 5 plays, and then we can shift in motion and do all sorts of stuff. Okay, so when I first started, didn't have a quarterback in the house. I mean, a guy couldn't throw the ball 15 yards. So that's why, you know, I'm a big advocate of the wing tee. You know, we can move the ball a little bit. We didn't have a quarterback at all. Our quarterback this year threw for 1,000 yards. But in the beginning, we didn't have anybody that could throw the ball. We've always had a 1,000-yard rusher. And one time, we had a 5'3" 40 kid. He was 5'8", 170, you know, put him at fullback. Got to run the belly ISO a lot with him, you know. This year, we had a 145-pound guard and a 155-pound guard. We got some really good backs, but we have smaller linemen. Okay, so I personally think it's really good for the year in, year out, what type of kids you have. You can mold it, you know, you can mold it into whatever you want, but it's a great system, I believe, and you can run it with about any type of kids. Like I said, you know, we've had, you know, slow running backs and small linemen, and we've still been able to improve our records each year. I use a lot of, so, you know, about 10 years ago, I started just YouTubing stuff, and it was the Montana shotgun wing tee, you know. So I had my traditional background in wing tee, and then this thing called Montana shotgun wing tee. And so I was able to implement some of that in what we're doing, and I'm gonna hit on my buck sweep because I think I do it a little bit different, and I'm able to add some wrinkles into it. So, you know, that's all our run plays, but we're getting really good at sweep trap. I'm calling reverses, the double handoff. The read is a belly ISO with a lot of different, you have different blocking schemes within that. And then power midline, jet. We ran some midline early on because I had a kid that wasn't really a quarterback, but he could run the ball a little bit. So we had the midline there. I'd like to get to the jet. We haven't really got there yet, but we're going to get really good at that. So I have, you know, every kid, every position on the line, their blocking rules. I put that in there. I'm really big on, you know, our kids don't have a playbook. They're going to play rep, and then they're going to learn what to do. You know, they don't have a wristband, they don't have a playbook. We're going to just go over and over, and we're going to learn what to do. You know, we even play rep in the off season. So we're over and over, and we're going to learn what to do. You know, they have blocking rules, so that's why, you know, it doesn't matter what defense is out there, they have a rule for it, you know, and we usually see a 50 punt block. Anyways, it's the same defense every week almost. So, you know, on this presentation, then I got everybody's blocking rules on there. I'm going to show a little bit of film here in a little bit. So I'm gonna talk our buck sweep. So we're wing left majority of the time. We're a wing left team, and so I've kind of altered some of the rules from, you know, what I've learned just playing in the system, and that's why I said I've taken some of this Montana shotgun principle into our under center. So on our wing, tight end, strong tackle side, you know, their rules are they're blocking inside. I mean, they're blocking inside. You know, it started out, the rule started out was head up to inside. Well, we get so many X's and blitzing backers, and you're blocking inside. So our wing back, tight end, strong tackle. Our strong guard is pull kick, first person outside the wing, okay? Do you reach play side with your center?
Yeah, center blocks A.
Okay, so that's what I was going to say. You know, so our center is reaching play side. You know, reaching strong side A, and you know, obviously, if he has someone in his gap, he's got him. If not, he's moving up. That's what reaching play side. He's moving up the linebacker. Our weak side guard is pull field, and what I teach when he pulls and passes the center. He's kind of just peeking inside, and at any point anybody shows up, he's turning up and making that block there. Our weak side tackle is scooping. Now, okay, so this is where I was going to kind of show what we've been able to do to kind of outflank people. So in your traditional wing tee, you fake on buck sweep, you fake the trap, you know, and he's blocking the weak side A. So what I found out, and this is where someone can chime in, we've been able to use that fullback and move him out places. We're not even blocking that weak side A gap, okay? Because he'll be flanked out to, you know, I might flank him out there to the tight end wing side, and I got an extra man, okay? So now our weak side tackle, he's gonna cut block inside. You know, I've seen him. We've cut a 2, a 3, a 4, a 4-eye, but he's going to cut on the back side and slow that guy down. So I'm telling you, we'll hand it under center. That 2 or 3 technique will not chase our running back down. He will not chase him down. We'll hand it off and we'll make a cut. And there's been like 2 times I've ever seen it. You know, Bigelow put like a 130-pound kid right there, and all he was doing was just following the guard. You know, well then now we can just run the belly ISO every single time. But we've gotten away without blocking that weak side A and running the buck sweep, and we're using that guy, that extra man, in different spots. You know, we can flank him out and throw him the ball. You know, we can just put him out there in the slot and run the waggle, and he's running his route from out there. So that's kind of how I've kind of altered the buck sweep, and I'll run the buck sweep out of any formation. You know, as long as I got the down blocks I need. You know, do you need a tight end? Well, no, you can run it with a tackle on the wing. You know, I'll have a wing and a split end cracking down. Just anyway, if anybody's got a new formation, I'll run it out of it. So I put this up here, and it kind of, you know, this kid's a really good athlete. He's a great player, and he's gotten a lot of stuff in the paper. But then I got to read, you know, I didn't tell him to say this, you know, and it made me feel really good. You know, he says, you know, Coach Wash looks out for us. He loves the school. He loves the players. He loves the game. You know, I didn't tell him to say that. You know, we matter to him. He wants to see us all be successful, not just on the field, you know, outside the field as well. You know, and that's really what I'm trying to do. When I wanted to be a head coach, you know, so bad, and I got a chance, I said, well, I'm going to do it the right way. And what I mean by that is I wanted to create this culture and win football games. And it's starting to happen, you know. And so I just think, you know, investing in the player and any way you think you can relate to a kid to get that kid to play, you know, play for you, but try to make him a better human as well. I'm going to do that in just a second. I'm just going to run a little bit of, here's the Charleston game. You know, like I said, I got about a minute of clips here, and this is the game. You know, I talked about how in the beginning there was no way we could beat these guys, and then we came up 2 points short. And this is some examples of what we're doing here. trap play. Sweet. Hey, they didn't call a hurdle on that, but they called a hole. One of those. We found a spot here where that third of the field was going to be open, so we just called that 50 play pass. We're taking the sweep. There's our double handoff. And we got all these guys carrying the ball, throwing the ball, coming back. You know, we're excited about it. Here's our waggle. I call this waggle throwback. Everybody sweet. That's a quick pitch, and of course he can just cut it back. Trap. Cut back, yeah. I got one thing here. It's not very loud, but I'll just tell them a little bit about it, you know. This is that kid that in 2016, the only one that would show up to all the workouts. You know, he's talking about, it was kind of a teacher appreciation day at the church service. And, you know, and he's up here talking about, you know, us coaches, you know, just kind of how we were, you know. I'm telling you, I never just like professed my faith to like, yeah, you know, I believe in Jesus Christ. I never said that to him, you know, but just how I interacted with them. He's talking about that, and you know, he was a troubled kid.
He loved the game of football, and he used a lot of the things that we learned in football as metaphors for life lessons, and gave us things to take with us past graduation. But to give you a little background for those of you that do not know, I was on my last straw by the time my junior year came around. My disciplinary sheet from middle school to high school was about as big as most of my textbooks. And I struggled with alcohol, forbearance, and I didn't exactly have perfect guidance. And they told me if I got into another fight, I was suspended one more time, or showed my face around the office again for any reason, I'd be done. But if it wasn't for encouraging teachers and my love for football, I probably might not have to come back. But something was different about Coach Ritter and Coach Wash. It was more than just a football player looking up to his coaches. It seemed as if there was something that they seen in me that others did not, that I did not see in myself. You know, they both knew that me and my best friends at the time wasn't doing the right things or hanging around the right people, but you know, they continued to pour into our lives some of the relationship with me. You know, there was times when all they had to do was send me to the office and let them.
So yeah, he's talking about, you know, he's always getting in trouble, and I could have just said, I'm done with you, go in the office, you know. And I'd have sit him down, have one-on-one with him, you know. You know, this is what I'm trying to say as a coach. You know, a lot of times you don't even know this is really going on. You're making that much of an impact with a kid, but you are. You know, so I know it's hard to hear, but I appreciate everything. And if anybody has any questions.
The Holy Spirit was always big to me, and most of the time I would just get up and leave if it got too real for me. I'd be waiting at home with my mom in the kitchen, and I'd just be livid. I'd just start to feel my own questions, you know, about what she'd been doing with the past.
So that's all I got, guys.
Thanks, guys.